Hello and good morning, everyone. Only Positivity here. I have my coffee with me, ready to kick off podcast number 116 on this playlist that I'm looking to launch called Elevated Thoughts. So before diving into the topic of the day, let's go and start with the level set. So, as I endeavor upon pursuing knowledge and life experience in this next phase of life through fitness, photography, reading, cannabis, many more things, one habit that I've really formed is traveling. So this podcast will go through some of my more recent travels, taking those lessons learned and applying them to experiences in my life. So before we dive in, the whole podcast is going to be a story, obviously, but one really interesting story, like a trippy story. So in 2023, me and my wife, we went to there's just like sexual harassment training coming up over here. I'm just like, what the fuck, bro? How many times are you gonna take sexual harassment training throughout the year, bro? Like sometimes it almost feels targeted, like I'm the one doing sexual harassing. But anyway, So 2 years ago, I guess a year and a half ago, my wife and I were in Italy. Specifically, the tail end of our trip, we were in Rome. And so on our last night in Rome, we just would what we would do every night is just like walk around Rome and find somewhere to eat and just sit down and just, have a nice little meal. So on our last night in Rome, we're walking and we passed this really fancy looking restaurant, and it's called Osteria. It's like an Osteria restaurant. And I don't know shit about that, but it seemed pretty fancy. So anyway, we asked them like, hey, can we get a table? And they kind of look at us like, they end up sitting us, right? And at this like little table they just pulled out and kind of like put on the side. And I was like, okay, this is kind of weird, right? There's like nobody here. It was like, 6:38, right? And so that's really early for dinner in Europe in general. But, that's like normal dinner time for us here in the States. So right after we get seated, we notice that the place gets fucking packed. Like everything is full. And then so we're sitting there like, okay, you know what? Like, good thing I didn't say anything to them, or my wife didn't, because then I felt like this sense of gratitude. I was like, wow, they were actually just being nice to us, because they were probably like, we have a packed restaurant, but these people maybe just don't know like how it works over here. And they just made a little table for us, which was nice. And then another like Caucasian couple comes by and they ask to get seated too, right? And they give them the same type of like, but they make a table for them as well, which is so fucking kind, right? And so we end up sitting really close to this couple. They put them right next to us. And after a while, we're eating these like kind of like croquetas, like these little fried, kind of cheese balls with meat in it. And they ask us, they're like, hey, we were thinking about ordering that. And then they go, what is that? We're like, oh, they're like these croquetas here, and they're actually really good. You want to try one, honestly, like to make it? And we gave them a little piece of one of ours, and it was like, we just right away we're kind of just like trying to be friendly with them, and so we start talking to them, right? And we're like, you come to a place like, and we start asking them what they are. And we're like, you come to a place like this, and you see just like the lifestyle is different. It's slower here. They had actually brought their kids. They have young kids. They brought their kids, but they left them at the Airbnb with like just to fuck around so they could get a date night away. And we were like, that's really cool that you guys travel, like with your kids and everything like that. And they're like, yeah, we actually we've lived in Italy before. We've lived all over the world with our kids, because what we did was we set up like a soap company in Alberta, which is in Canada, and we've been to Banff a couple of times. So I was like, dude, I love Calgary, bro. That's awesome. And they're like, yeah, we just set up a soap company. And we just because of that, we're able to just do whatever we want to do. So like, I would encourage you, if you really want it, like go after it. And I was like, this is so fucking charging and kind. So long story short, we're taking my brother-in-law to Banff this year, 2025 July, and it is currently January, right? So we are looking at Airbnbs, right? And there's this Airbnb that is all about hey, everything in this Airbnb is like locally sourced in a sustainable manner. Even the soap. And I go, wait, so they have the soap company's name? And I look it up and I go look at my email, because I actually exchanged emails with that guy in Italy. And I was going back to it because he recommended me a book, and I sent him some travel itineraries, right? So he recommended me a book, and I sent him some travel itineraries. And then I was looking at it. I was like, dude, this guy's the owner of that company. And I'm like, wow, what a small fucking world, dude. It was crazy. I'm probably going to reach out to him and be like, look at this shit, bro. But then I like did a deep dive and went on their Instagram, like their company's Instagram, and I saw them there. I saw the owners there. I was like, dude, I literally sat down next to dinner with these people. And it's just so trippy, the types of experiences you can get when you travel, you know? And that's one of the reasons I encourage fucking everybody to go travel, my dude. Anyway, but what do you call? Yeah, so there's that. But anyway, so coming back to the topic of the day. So, you know, the most recent travel that, you know, I'm going over today is my trip to Japan. And it was probably like, again, I always say this, and I love saying that every year, right? I love saying like, this is the best place I ever went to, the best place I ever went to. But Japan is truly one of the best places I've ever been to. And it was a gem. It was a breath of fresh air, you know, coming from some of the mundane things that you do out here in the United States. And I was just sitting there like, man, it's just, I reaffirms my want and desire to travel more often. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like without further ado, we can just kind of go into it, you know? And you know, for those of you that have questions, anything like that, feel free to just ping me. That sounds so corporate. Shoot me a note, man. Like hit me in the DMs or something like that. We'll fucking square it all off, my dude. But anyway, so the day comes and we have like a, what do you call, like a afternoon flight. So we end up taking that Friday off, right? And so we get up, we get our workouts in, right? And for a lot of reasons, because I'm not going to be working out for about a week. And then on top of that, I will know that if I get a good workout in, I'm going to fall asleep better on the plane. Not that I will have too much of an issue with it, because I'm going to, like, you know, take a bunch of edibles and stuff like that. But it's always just good to like tire yourself out, right? So all good there. So we get to the airport, we get to O'Hare, and we get like some sandwiches, which is nice. Obviously pre-check, fucking smooth as fuck. Get some sandwiches at the airport, you know, nice and clean, just like light shit. There were some dudes next to us who were, I'm pretty sure, on our flight, but I didn't see them. I could be being racist because they were 3 Asian dudes, but they were eating like fucking fried chicken, like Mongolian beef, fried rice, crab rangoons. I'm like, y'all are gonna be fucking up the plane, dude. But anyway, so we're there, you know, no issues, honestly, getting to on the plane and things like that. We just got seated. And I've been, you know, knock on wood, hearing some horror stories about people getting like their flights canceled, being like deplaned and shit like that. And that's kind of a fucking bummer, dude. You know, if I'm being honest, you know, especially because you have so much hinging on just like you getting somewhere on time. So anyway, knock on wood that I'm sure I'm up for some sort of travel botch, but you know, hopefully I don't experience that. But then anyway, so we get on the flight, 13 and a half hours. I just like knock out, you know, so, you know, after a couple hours, the first meal comes and then I'm fucking done. I'm just like, all right, you know what? I'm going to pass out. The next, I don't really like to eat too much on the plane. And plus they have shitty meals going to Japan. On the way back, there was pretty good meals actually. But so on the way there, I just like ate the first meal they gave me, like some of it. And then, you know, just edibles are kicking in. I closed my eyes, fell asleep for like, I want to say like 5 to 6 hours. Okay. So then I woke up and then I was, I watched the second Godfather, which is like a 3.5 like hour movie. You know what I mean? So think about it, I have like almost like 9 hours of the flight like pretty much accounted for, you know. So 4 hours after that, I'm just watching, like, there's The Office on there. I'm listening to old albums, so like I can do 4 hours just like completely alert and awake. But I honestly nodded in and out. So anyway, we use this travel service, right, called Kim Kim, which is awesome. I recommend anybody use that service. So we go to, we land in Tokyo, and there's a guy waiting for us. And this is like kind of like a little bit of a bougier thing, but you know, we just want like our first travel experiences in these countries to go really smooth. So we pay a little bit more, and you know, we ensure that we don't have like too many hiccups, right? And a travel company will take care of like the logistics. We can just select what we want to do and don't want to do, right? So there's this guy named Yoshida-san. He picks us up, and he doesn't have good English, right? But the next day, his like buddy, his name's Alan. Alan was fucking the most adorable little Asian guy. Like, he's got a couple daughters. And anyway, so this guy picks us up, Yoshida-san. He picks us up, 25-minute, 30-minute drive to the hotel. We get over there, and we honestly just knock the fuck out. Don't even eat dinner. We're like, dude, I'm just exhausted, man. Let's just pass out, right? So we get up, and one thing I fucking love, you gotta do it. We stayed at the Hilton in Tokyo in Shinjuku. Really nice hotel. They have breakfast included. So, you get there's an omelet, dude, get some lattes, get some chatting going in the morning, set the day off fucking right, my guy. So then we do that. And I'm just going to pull up my Google Photos here so I can tell you guys exactly what we did. So then the first day, this guy picks us up, right? And then what he does, he takes us to the Meiji Shrine, which is, it's in Tokyo. It's in this huge park, and there's a lot of different shrines in there. There's a lot of these cool sake, bins and stuff like that. And it's just really tranquil to walk through there. So the Meiji Shrine is great. So we got the first kind of experience with Shinto culture, right? It's very spiritual. They believe everything has a spirit. So which I think is great, because you want to just treat everything as if it has a spirit in it, right? With that respect. So that it was really nice. And then we get to the actual shrine, and there's a wedding going on, right? And we get to see a real Japanese wedding. Now, only rich people can really afford to get married in a place like that. But it was really cool to see, and it's really nice. The wedding ceremonies themselves are only 30 to 40 people max, which I think is awesome. So it's one of those things where it's you keep it small and intimate. It's not this extravagant thing. I'm sure it's expensive, but it's not it's very ritualistic, right? And not overly extravagant, which I can appreciate, But other than that, so we go see that, and then essentially what you can do is we go to the shrine. We do a little they have a specific way that you pray there. And they also have these little notes you can write if you pay a little money, and you can write a fortune that you want to come true, right? I was I wish for many more years of travel and good health and good experiences. And I just put a little money in this envelope, and you drop it in there, and the priest will make a little prayer about that, and hopefully make that come to life, right? So it was amazing. It's just a cool opportunity to get into the culture, right? And then after that, we went to a sushi making class, right? And that was really fucking funny, because the guy was roasting me the entire time in the kindest way possible. So my wife is really good, because so what you have to do is you sit down, and you're making the little rice ball with your hands. You're putting the fish on top. You're putting wasabi in it. You're rolling the sushi and everything like that, right? So essentially, my orc ass hands, I make everyone's sushi ball is nice and perfect shape, and mine looks all lopsided and bullshit. And he's ooh, and I'm I think he's trying to be nice to me. I'm bro, you're fucking laughing in my face if you think about it, but it's all good. I'm chilling. So then that was kind of the theme of the class. He was just laughing at me, and I had this cape. I had this apron on and a hat on, so I looked extra dumb. So it was just easy to make fun of me, right? I put too much wasabi in my sushi roll apparently. He's ooh, very spicy, very spicy. I'm dude, all right, man. But he was really nice to me. He was such a cute old man, and really one of the best one of the best sushi experiences I've had ever. So anyway, and one thing about Japan just in general is it was their fall there, and the weather was just, the air was crisp, but not too cold. There was one day where it was actually hot outside, and there was multiple days I would just go for a walk while my wife was getting ready, and it was just awesome, man. And so we did that. We wrapped that up, and we went to Asakusa, which is another huge shrine, packed as fuck over there, but gorgeous, those red Shinto type architecture points. There's a huge photography culture out there, so there's a lot of folks just taking pictures and things like that, which I love. All these little markets. And one thing you can see about the culture over there is you would never be able to get away in America with what they do over there. So all the samples and things like that, they just have out on the counter for people to touch and feel and see and look at, but nobody's worried about you stealing it. I was worried about somebody stealing it, you know what I mean? But honestly, it was fun. It was really fun to see that or like not fun. It was reassuring to see that there's this faith in humanity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited coming back to be like, can I echo that here? Can I echo that going forward? And that's what you get from traveling, right? You're like, man, people really be living different lifestyles out there. But all that, so after that, we slide over to this like shopping district. So it's like outside of the bougie area, right? So it's more of like a thrift shopping market, and it's packed, right? Little stores, little shops. One thing they have that's really cool, they have these animal cafes. They have like these like kitty cafes. There was one with otters. There was one with pigs. And there are all these baby animals that you can just go sit around and play with. I was like, bro, I fucking need this in my life. I want to start one of those here, It was so fucking cool. So we got little coffees, little snacks, and Japan is just doing food right. Honestly, it's all fresh and nice. And after that, we go to like a kind of like a, I don't know, it's like a public park, but it's like in the middle of the city, and it's like kind of like a Central Park-ish thing, but it's way cleaner and way nicer. And there's like paths along the lake, and there's all these little shrines and little homes that they've preserved, like looking like a dojo, right? Like all wood and minimalistic inside. And back in the day, these are places where the samurai and the Shinto priests would come via boat and like be received here in Tokyo, which was awesome. Just so much history, and it was just so gorgeous. The sun was out. There was all these flower gardens. The colors were changing, so all the leaves were different colors. I was like, let's definitely like reflect for a moment and just chill, and just take all this in. How much history is here and how nice it is here, just like pristine location, and then after that, went home, par for the course. We rocked a nap because we were up early, right? And so then we went to this place that we saw Mark Wayne's go to, my boy Mark. Wow. It was called Ichiran Ramen, and oh my god, dude, best ramen ever. We wake up from our nap, we go down to Shinjuku. It's like lit down there like Times Square, but way cleaner. There's like an hour and a half wait, and we waited, but like you can tell people come here often to wait, right? So there was people like watching movies on their phones together. They just had all the infrastructure to wait in this line. So when you get down to the place you order off this kiosk, right? And there is a room with like 6 cubbies. And as soon as one cubby opens, they let one person in to eat. And behind each cubby is like a curtain, and like the workers open the curtain, slide you your ramen, close it back up, and you can sit there and just eat your ramen, and then you get out. Just really simple eating experience, but best ramen ever, dude. I was like, and I was proud to use my chopsticks the entire time in that bitch, bro. I was using it for every single meal. It was absolutely fucking wonderful, my dude. So anywho, I was really excited for that. And especially because Mark Wayne's went there. It's like, I love going to places that the people I follow go to, or if I've been there even before them. It's super fucking fun, So really, really lit about that, man. So then we go back down, right? Sorry, I'm about to burp here, but what do you call it? Tokyo seems really safe at all times. So then we go back and, we sit at the hotel bar, and they have this like swanky little bar. It's kind of like an Irish themed bar. And there was like soft piano music and a singer, and it was just vibey. We were getting some cool cocktails, just chatting it up, having a good ass time. And then, so we knock out, get up in the morning, have breakfast again, and we're chatting, catching up, talking about life and all these fucking things. So it was awesome. But we get up in the morning and we meet up our buddy Alan again and Yoshida-san. They're just like the cutest little pair, man. Just so much fun. And they take us to Shibuya Crossing, which was a little underwhelming because it wasn't busy, but it's beautiful, dude. Like, it's like they have all these like huge marquees. There's like a lot of people around. We didn't see like it really packed, but there was still a lot of people there. And it was cool to just say, hey man, I've been to Shibuya Crossing. I walked across the street. There's all these cool train stations around, but they have all these bougie restaurants in there. So I was like, wow, this is cool. And then we went to a sumo wrestling show after that for like 2 hours, which was fucking amazing, dude. They were retired sumo wrestlers, but you realize like sumo wrestlers, it's like a sport there, and they're treated like kings out there. They're like the celebrities out there. They're like the LeBron Jameses and everything like that. But they all cook, train, eat together. They pretty much live in a commune together, and it's really cool. I can appreciate the sport. We got to see a couple of sumo wrestlers like spar and shit like that, which is awesome. they do have a lot of knee issues, and like, you know, it's like their weight and all this shit. They like squat a lot. So these guys were only in their early 30s like me, but like fucking retired because they had blown out their knees like multiple times. So kind of an impactful sport, I would say. But what was really cute is like they let the kids come up in the ring and just like wrestle with the sumo wrestlers. Obviously they were like fucking around, right? But it was really, really cool and just a unique experience. They gave us lunch with it and it was fucking awesome. And I was feeling great about that. And then we dipped out of there after the sumo wrestling show, and that was kind of our thing for the day. We went to this place called Don Quixote, which is like a fucking department store on steroids. There's like 10 floors of everything you could imagine. I don't even know what the store is for. There's like, you can buy like bags, like you know, rolly bags, like bags you can take on the plane. You can buy fucking face cream and toiletries and hygiene products. There's just fucking electronics. You can buy everything here, lighters, all these things, man. So there's something for everybody there. I got kind of paralysis by analysis, so I just bought like fucking 10 Hello Kitties for my friends. And the wavy ones, and they're just so fucking cute, man. I was sad to like give them up, dude. Like I put one in front of my walking pad here, and it would just be waving at me all day long, and I'm just like, man, you're so fucking cute, dude. But anyway, so there's that. We kind of wrap up the day there. The next day, we get up and we have kind of our last day in Tokyo, and we just go shopping. It's like a free day. We were like, we just want one free day where we can just do whatever we want to do. We went back to that shopping district and actually bought a bunch of souvenirs and things like that, and we just walked around Tokyo just like aimlessly, dude. It was fucking awesome. So and then we end up at night going to this random restaurant, right? And it was like just in the restaurant, it's like in a high rise, right? So that's the thing about Japan. It's like, it's intuitive, but like you have to do some figuring out, and people will help you, which is really fucking nice. So we go to like the 7th floor of this building, and there's like this like thing where all these kids are hanging out, like college kids, and they're just having like, they're eating and having fun. And we're like, maybe this is not the place where it's supposed to be, but this is really cool. So we hung out for a second, and then we go one floor up, and there's just like a room with like 2 hibachi grills, and we get like our own hibachi dinner with our own chef. He makes us like some wagyu, like a bunch of appetizers, a bunch of shit. It was awesome, bro. And it was only like $80 total. You know, we got some drinks. It was fucking phenomenal. So the next day we knock out. So we knock out that night, right? And then we get some ramen actually. Before we go, to bed, we get some more ramen actually at this one spot. And it was just fucking phenomenal, right? It opened at 11. We were there right at 11. As we were getting in, it was getting packed, but it was just a different flavor than Ichiran. It was like their own type of ramen. But it's called Harajuku. And there's one in New York actually, which was really cool. And I'm hoping one day to go to that New York sister restaurant, man. But really great ramen. Use my chopsticks again. But you know what? As far as me feeling proud of that, like there's this like fucking 3-year-old girl next to me, Japanese girl probably, using her chopsticks way more fucking efficiently than me. And I'm just sitting there like, all right, you know, like all good. You know, like I don't want to fucking come at you, my little G, but we can square up if you'd like to. But anyway, there's that. I'm a fucking idiot. So yeah, so there's that. So we end up going back, passing out. The next day, get up, get the breakfast, and slide over to the train station. And we take a bullet train out to Kyoto. And that was like a 3-hour train ride, or 2.5-hour train ride, which was fucking awesome. You don't feel how fast it's going, but it is hitting like 200 miles an hour. It was a beautiful day. We passed by Mount Fuji. And then we get to Kyoto, hop in a cab, get to our hotel. And that hotel was like a cute little boutique hotel, man. We kind of like took a little nap, set stuff down, and just walked around Kyoto, man. Kyoto is fucking beautiful, dude. Like we went to a little bar called Bar Samoa, and just like one wooden bar in like this little restaurant that could probably sit 10 people max. And it's only a whiskey bar. You just sit there. You can tell there's like some frequent flyers over there. They're just sitting there having a fucking glass full of whiskey, and we just got a couple glasses. We went to another bar that was just like literally one room. It was like there was only enough folks at the bar for like 2 people. Like, you know what I'm saying? The bar is only big enough for 2 people, which was fucking crazy. And then And they only had a 1 drink limit, which was great. So that way you get your drink, you get out, right? I had some like, I forget it was like some gin, which was really fucking good. And then we went to this market, this anime like kind of market, and it was smelly. And people had said that on the internet when we were researching it. But anime culture is fucking huge there, bro. So they have these things out there called like Meiji cafes in Tokyo. And essentially you can get coffee or a drink with just like a chick that's dressed up like an anime chick. And that's it. You just get a drink or coffee with her. And apparently there's a lot of loneliness in Japan. So that's like a form of companionship. And I thought that was really cool because there is that whole prostitution thing, I'm sure, just like there is in America. But one of these things that's really cool is like, it's cool that it's legal, right? That it's regulated, because, you know, everyone needs companionship, right? Like, so if I just want to get like a coffee with somebody, I just want like some conversation because I'm lonely, that's cool, right? It's all platonic, you know, which I think is great. So, you know, I think it can be controversial, but I was like, this is pretty cool. But anyway, so there's that. So we end up we're gonna go to the anime store, getting some anime shit for some people we know out here, right? And then we go back, and then we end up getting a shabu shabu dinner, which is just like you know, meat, like steak, and they come and like put it in a broth for you, and I thought it was fucking phenomenal. My wife actually ended up getting like food poisoning from it, which was very sad. So she had to miss our 1 day. So we had a day and a half in Kyoto. She had to miss that day in Kyoto. And I had to spend it with my little homie Peter, who was our guide, and he was like a young dude, really cool guy. We went to the Golden Pavilion in Kyoto, which is a beautiful, you know, it's beautiful architecture made of gold-plated house. We went to like, there's like a whole national park kind of thing around it, beautiful, pristine. We went to a bamboo garden, and it's just like amazing, man. Just like how clean and amazing it is out in Kyoto, man. Just pristine, and I was in awe by it. And then we took a little drive outside of the city, and then I get to see everything, right? I'm just like looking out the window, reflecting. And we went to a sake brewery tour, which was amazing. And my buddy got a little turned because my wife was initially supposed to be the one who came with me, but you know, he was like, I'll just fucking take her ticket. I was like, absolutely, bro. So another really cool thing is the 7-Elevens there are fucking on steroids, bro. Like, you can eat a whole meal, a quality meal at a 7-Eleven there. It's like futuristic as fuck, my dude. But then so we go to this fish market that somebody feed Phil went to, my dude Phil Rosenthal. I got these fried octopus balls, which were fucking amazing. It's just like a mile of just street vendors, which is awesome, dude. Just like all types of food, tempura, fish, sushi, all these things. It was so good. And then, you know, that was kind of the day. I went back and, you know, checked on my wife, and, you know, she was still kind of feeling it. You know, we just we went, we kind of laid low. I was just like tired, man, because I was up all night with her the night before. And so I got home at like 4 o'clock, and I slept until 8 a.m. the next day, dude. It was crazy. I just like, so we went to the store, like the 7-Eleven. I got some sushi. I got like a sushi platter. And I just smashed on it, and I just passed the fuck out. Woke up the next morning, got some breakfast, was on my fucking way, dude. So get back on the train, go back to Tokyo for the last night. We get over there and we get some fried chicken. My wife's feeling better, and dude, the fried chicken is good as fuck, my dude. It was so good. Just like shattered crispy, just so crispy, dude. And it was phenomenal. We were just kind of reflecting on our last night there, and back at the Hilton, and just like loving it, man. Just loving it. Enjoying how nice and kind everybody is. And then in the morning, obviously we get our breakfast. We're leaving that day, but I'm like, yo, let's get some massages, bro. And so we had to get some massages, but we had to check out right before our massage, and they only had one masseuse, so we had to she had to go, and then I had to go. So we ended up doing is just getting some drinks at the bar. And this is another example. So they only gave us one key card to the massage parlor in there because we were checked out of our room, right? So I told the bartender, I was like, yo, I have an open tab. I'm going to go take her to the massage parlor. I'll be right back, I promise. And this dude was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Yeah, go do it. And it just goes to show, right? Like in America, you're kind of abrased by that. It's like the service is like a little bit expectational and a little bit entitled. But, you know, over there, they're just like, yeah, do your thing. I'm not fucking worried about it. Like, go ahead. And so, you know, went up there, got my massage, and, you know, there's a language barrier. So, you know, there's a part where your feet go on the table, and there's a part where your head goes, like in that little circle. I was like kind of stoned, so I laid backwards, and my feet were between my head. My feet were in the hole where the head goes, and my head was like in between those little ridges where your feet go. And I was just like, she came in and started laughing at me like right away, and I'm just like, oh no, sorry. But then flip around, she gives me a great massage. I go in the steam room and the sauna afterwards, shower up. I'm good to go for the fucking flights. And then my wife does the same thing. I get some drinks downstairs while I'm waiting for her. I get like a kiwi martini, a pineapple martini, buzzing a little bit. So we get to the airport, a little bit of a longer line at the airport, but breezy. We're good to go. We got some ramen, some really good ramen. Like it is restaurant quality ramen here at the airport. And what was really nice, there was a group of kids, I think like an abroad like type thing. They were like in their early 20s maybe. And they were all like so kind to each other. They were all just being like really mature in their communication. And I was like, wow. And they're going to Chicago, right? And so they're all talking about seat arrangements. Like one person wants to sit with their boyfriend, but didn't get assigned that seat. So they're all working it out. I'm like, bro, I was not that mature when I was a fucking kid, if I'm being honest, you know? So anyway, so we get on the flight. I'm relaxed, right? Because I got that massage, had a few drinks. I'm good to go. I ate my ramen. And then I passed the fuck out, honestly, for like 8 hours on the flight. I'm just out. My wife was like, your mouth was open and shit. You were out. And I woke up, honestly, you know, with like an hour and a half to go. I was like, fuck yes, you know? And then, so we get back, land. Obviously, global entry is fucking amazing. My brother-in-law, best dude ever, came to pick us up. We go back home, smoke a fucking joint, chill out for the evening. And I'm just like, we're home, dude. A fucking amazing, monumental trip in the books. I'm so fucking happy. I'm feeling recharged, refreshed for the new year, and let's fucking get it. And that's a wrap, baby boy. We out here. You know, that's my trip to Japan. I'm sure there's some things I forgot, but you know, I'm loving life, man. Loving traveling, feeling recharged, excited. If anybody wants a podcast, feel free to hit me up. Feel free to leave me any feedback. And remember, only positivity. Thanks, y'all.